Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for all of the feedback and comments that we've received earlier this week from our Facebook post about migraines. You've asked a lot of great questions, you've given me a lot of great feedback, and you've inspired me to create an entire video series about migraine. And I think before we get into treatments and all the other things that go along with migraines, we need to understand what exactly causes a migraine and what they are. So we're going to talk about that today. The truth of the matter is there's still a lot of research being conducted on migraines, but no one really knows exactly what the cause is. But I'm going to share with you the newest thinking, and I love the neuroscience that goes along with it. I will try not to get too technical with you because it can get very technical even for me. But I think it's important to understand what a migraine is and where they come from. So the exact cause, as I mentioned, is still unclear, but it seems to be linked to a change in chemicals in the brain. And those chemicals are called neurotransmitters, and those turn nerves on and they turn nerves off. And there's two in particular that are being looked at right now. The first is called CGRP, and the second is called serotonin. And serotonin is something that is a little bit more mainstream in our vocabulary, and you might have heard of it before. Decreased levels of serotonin in the brain has been linked to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. And it is now being looked at as a migraine trigger. So I'm going to share with you some of the anatomy of the brain as we talk about the role of these neurotransmitters and how migraine occurs. Serotonin can be found in the central nervous system, so your brain and your spinal cord, and also is found in your blood, in your platelets, and in your GI tract. But what research is showing is that serotonin levels drop sometimes in the brainstem, which is located right here. It's this portion of the brain. And when serotonin levels drop in that part of the brain, it seems to trigger the trigeminal nerve. If we look at the brain from the bottom, this is what it would look like, and we can see that the trigeminal nerve is one of the cranial nerves, which means it comes out directly from the brain itself. And the trigeminal nerve is right here, and it's one of the biggest cranial nerves that we have in our body. This nerve branches out and provides sensation throughout the head and the face. It is thought that a drop in the serotonin levels will stimulate the trigeminal nerve, which will then stimulate pain receptors in the meninges of the brain. And from this cross-section view, you can see here that we have the skin, we have the skull, this right here is the brain, and the meninges are the layers kind of covering around the brain. And there's pain receptors there, and it is thought that when those are stimulated, that is where migraine head pain will come from. Along with the head pain, people dealing with migraines suffer from a myriad of other symptoms as well. And some of those include an aura, which is visual changes in the periphery of your vision, numbness and tingling in the face, sometimes in the arms or legs, nausea, vomiting, sensitivity to light, sensitivity to sound, sensitivity to smells and to touch, difficulty thinking and concentrating, memory visions, dizziness and vertigo, double vision or blurred vision. And these symptoms can last anywhere from 4 to 72 hours. So let's talk next time about what other things can cause similar symptoms. We'll call it differential diagnosis. So figuring out other things that can cause migraine symptoms, and how do you know for sure, and how do we diagnose if indeed you are dealing with migraines. So stay tuned next time. We'll talk about that.